Winning the Super Bowl is every athlete's dream, but for some, this desire, no matter how great they were, remained an unachievable dream. Discover the greatest athletes who have never won a Super Bowl. Before we continue, remember to subscribe to the page and activate the bell to stay always updated. Welcome back to Go to Football. Today we will talk about some of the greatest players who have never won a Super Bowl. Let's start with one of the greatest running backs of all time, the third overall pick in the 1989 draft, Barry Sanders. The Lions, after some initial hesitation, decided to bet on the talent from Oklahoma State Cowboys. The debut of the young Sanders in the NFL was just the prelude to his brilliant career. He scored a touchdown in the fourth seasonal possession, a predestined man. Sanders, despite not being exceptionally tall, was all muscle. He was practically impossible to bring down, and above all, he had a speed and explosiveness that are not seen every day. His athletic and physical abilities made him one of the best running backs ever seen. At the end of his rookie season, Sanders finished second in the league for rushing yards and touchdowns. He won the Offensive Rookie of the Year award. With such a season at the beginning, Sanders swept away all the doubts of the Lions and became the cornerstone of their attack for all the 90s. In 1991 and 1993, he even led them to conquer the NFC Central Division. Without a doubt, Sanders' best season was in 1997 when he became part of the 2000 Club. That's right, Barry ran for over 2,000 yards in a single season, and to be precise, set another record by reaching 2,000 yards for 14 games in a row, a feat only accomplished by O.J. Simpson. As you can imagine, the season didn't start well for the Lions running back, with just 53 yards in the first two games. But at the end of the season, he had an impressive record of 2,053 rushing yards. At the end of that year, Sanders won the league's MVP award, shared with Packers quarterback Brett Favre. In his 10-year career, which rightfully earned him a place in the Hall of Fame, Sanders was always called up to the Pro Bowl. He was included in the first-team All-Pro 8 times in the periods 1989, 1991, and 1993, 1997, and in the second-team All-Pro twice in 1992 and 1998. Despite an excellent career where he demonstrated all his talents, Sanders, although he ran and made every effort, never managed to reach the Super Bowl. Perhaps the only great recognition missing for an incredible talent like his. Continuing to talk about incredible talents and exceptional players, let's now move on to Dan Marino. The historic quarterback of the Dolphins, after a brilliant college career, was selected as the first overall pick by the Los Angeles Express of the United States Football League. But Marino refused to play for them and was then selected as the 27th pick in the 1983 draft by the Miami Dolphins. And it was the beginning of everything. Marino's talent was immediately clear to fans and experts. Already in his second season, he began breaking record after record, demonstrating all his potential. He set the record for the most touchdown passes, 48, a record that would later be broken first by Manning, then by Brady, and finally again by Manning, and the most passing yards, 5,084 in a season, a record broken 27 years later by Drew Brees in 2011. These incredible performances earned him the NFL MVP award. Thanks to the league MVP, the Dolphins ended the regular season with a record of 14-2. They flew through the playoffs to reach the Super Bowl, but that game would be cursed. Marino and the Dolphins faced the San Francisco 49ers. The Dolphins only ran the ball 8 times during the game. Marino finished with 29 completions on 50 attempts for 318 yards, 1 touchdown pass, and 2 interceptions. The Dolphins lost 38-16 in what was Dan Marino's only appearance in the Super Bowl of his career. Dan Marino's career was filled with successes, and above all characterized by great talent. He suffered only one setback that compromised his game, the Achilles tendon injury in 1993, which forced him to sit out the entire season. Upon returning to the field, Dan's condition was uncertain, but talent doesn't just vanish into thin air. Marino continued to be a key player for his Dolphins until his retirement in 1999. He retired as an absolute champion, with an NFL MVP, 9 Pro Bowl selections, 3 first-team All-Pros, 5 second-team All-Pros, Offensive Player of the Year award, and being the league leader for touchdown passes 3 years in a row. Oh, and clearly Dan Marino is also a Hall of Famer. The value of this incredible player was demonstrated on the field, and his legacy is certainly not less valuable just because he didn't win the Super Bowl. And now, one of the best defender in recent years, J.J. Watt. He's an absolute beast, an incredible player with unmatched physical strength who has become one of the league's top defenders during his career. J.J. Watt was selected by the Texans at number 11 in the 2011 draft. During the combine, he showed off his abilities in all categories except for the sprint. The Texans found a true reference point in their defense in him. From his first games, Watt demonstrated all of his talent, finishing the season by playing in all 16 games as a starter, with 56 tackles, 48 solo, 5.5 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, 4 passes defended, and a blocked field goal. Not bad for a rookie, right? But this was just the beginning. In his second season, Watt further improved his performances, becoming the pillar of the Texans' defense. His season was absurd, an absolute domination that earned him the Defensive Player of the Year award, the first player in franchise history, and only the 8th defensive end in league history. But it seems that he enjoyed it. Watt won the award for Best Defender in the league 2 more times, in 2014 and 2015. Watt's excellent performances regularly placed him in the NFL's list of top 100 players. Despite his widely demonstrated value, neither the Texans nor the Cardinals, with whom he retired in 2022, were able to win a Super Bowl. But we should not judge this force of nature based on the title. In addition to his 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards, Watt boasts 5 Pro Bowl selections, was a member of the first-team All-Pro 5 times, elected 4 times as the AFC Defensive Player of the Year, a leader in the NFL in sacks and forced fumbles. He may have missed out on the Super Bowl, but J.J. Watt is undoubtedly one of the best defenders to ever play in this league. Let's conclude our journey with one of the most thrilling players of all time, Randy Moss. Undoubtedly one of the best athletes to ever play in the league, with an exceptional receiving ability. There was no ball he couldn't catch. He literally jumped over opponents just to grab that ball, and then once he was running towards the end zone, well, you could try to stop him, but he was practically unstoppable. He was selected as the 21st pick by the Vikings in the 1998 draft, and immediately became indispensable for the team. Thanks to Moss's contribution, the Vikings became the most prolific team in the league. The rookie knew his business. That year, Moss came within a step of the Super Bowl. In fact, the team was defeated by the Falcons in overtime in the NFC Final. The value of young Moss was immediately clear. That year, he won the NFL Rookie of the Year award and was selected to the Pro Bowl, where he set the record for the most touchdowns by a rookie. Moss's offensive dominance was evident no matter what team he played for. After his first time with the Vikings, he was traded to the Raiders and then to the Patriots in 2007. Perhaps he had his greatest chance of winning the title here. The Patriots could boast an unbeaten record of 18 games, but the invincible, undefeated Patriots will lose the most important game, the Super Bowl against the Giants. Despite the missed title, Moss played one of his best seasons, finishing the year with 98 receptions, 1,493 yards gained, and a new record for receiving touchdowns, 23. After the Patriots, Moss returned for a brief stint with the Vikings and then immediately went to the Titans before his first retirement. He returned to the field in 2012 to once again chase the Super Bowl with the 49ers. But as happened before, just 1 inch from the finish line, that dream faded. The 49ers lost the Super Bowl to the Ravens with a score of 34-31. Moss, who had played another great season, saw his title vanish. Randy's career was exceptional, just like the player he was. The records set by Moss are innumerable, as are the recognitions, such as 1 Pro Bowl MVP, NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, 7 Pro Bowl selections, 4 first-team All-Pros, and 5 times NFL leader in receiving touchdowns, and clearly a member of the Hall of Fame. A player like Moss doesn't come along every day. And with that, guys, that's it. These were some of the greatest players of all time who have not been able to win a Super Bowl. Who do you think deserved it the most? And who, like them, despite having great talent, could not win the title? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like and subscribe to Go to Football, the channel made by fans for fans. Thanks for following us. See you next time.